I'm giving you like the ultimate guide today on how to clean out your fridge, including a disinfecting cleaning spray recipe that I have as well, so that you can really make sure those shelves get to shining. And I'm sharing a few other hacks along the way. Now, if you have been using our domestic darling cleaning routines, then you know that the best way to start out is to fill your sink with hot, soapy water. This is my go-to for so many things, whether it's before you cook a meal or before you clean out the fridge. So our prep work is going to be to fill our sink with hot, soapy water and to grab a big old trash sack or your big trash can. And we're going to go and we're going to open the fridge. We're going to pull out everything that's out of date, any leftovers that are expired and can't be used. We're going to dump all of those in to the trash can, and we're going to put the containers in the sink of hot soapy water. And if you followed your domestic darling morning cleaning routine, we clean out the fridge every Wednesday while listening to the radio show. So I tell you to go ahead and make sure that you've already like unloaded your dishwasher in the morning or put your clean dishes away, so that when we clean out the fridge and we put all of those dirty dishes into the hot soapy water, they're ready to go right into the dishwasher or easily be hand washed. So that task is so simple and it sets you up for success. The other thing is to make sure that you have, like, you can put like items together while you're organizing your fridge items real quick. You can pull everything out just one shelf at a time and wipe down bottles if you're really, really wanting to get into it. The things that are going to go back in the fridge, you can wipe those down to make sure that they're clean and not sticky. So, next thing is cleaning each shelf and drawer. So once you've got things like decluttered basically in your fridge to where you've gotten rid of everything that's expired or out of date or leftovers that aren't going to get eaten, this can also be a time where if you have leftovers that you've been meaning to freeze, you can have a station. I have like a rolling kitchen island cart, and I'll set that up too sometimes with my little opener that keeps the freezer bags open, and I can freeze whatever meals need to be turned into freezer meals, like whatever leftovers I have. Moving on to cleaning each shelf and drawer. So once your fridge is all organized, it's time to get down to business. You're going to take out all the shelves and drawers one at a time so that they can be washed separately. You can either wash them in the sink in the warm soapy water, and or like just use a damp cloth or sponge with some dish soap for areas that are really have some good stuck on food particles. You can use old toothbrushes. I like to use like bamboo like charcoal toothbrushes because the charcoal just adds a little extra oomph and power there. So you'll want to also make sure that they're completely dry before you place them in the fridge. That'll help prevent any like new bacteria or mold from forming once they're, put right back away. If you're wanting to disinfect your shelves, a really good natural cleaner is I have a disinfecting spray recipe, and I'm just going to go ahead and give it to you right now. Sorry if you can hear my dog and his collar in the background. But it's just 1.5 cups of water, a half cup of white vinegar, a half cup of vodka or rubbing alcohol, and this is what provides the disinfecting property. And then you can add essential oils if you want to, but you can absolutely do this unscented. Sometimes I just like to save my expensive essential oils for like diffusers or for medicinal uses, and therapeutic uses, I guess, is more what I mean to say there. So that's my favorite disinfecting spray. I have a bunch of cleaning recipes, everything from laundry to bathroom cleaners to kitchen cleaners to sink cleaners. All of those recipes I have in the form of a printable, which you can actually print out on sticker paper, and it's the perfect size for spray bottles or cleaning bottles that you can order, just like glass bottles off of Amazon and everything like that. So that you can stick those recipes directly onto the bottle with the label of what kind of cleaner they are. I'm not going to go too deep into this, but I definitely put the link to that printable in the show notes description. So after you do that, and all the shelves and drawers and everything are cleaned out and wiped down, it's time to restock the fridge. And then you'll also want to keep in mind what you need to keep cooler and what you need to keep warmer. Usually the top shelf of the fridge especially towards the back, is going to be the coldest spot, and then working its way down. So you'll definitely not want to put fresh produce on the top back closest to where it's cold, because then it'll freeze and they'll get gross and your vegetables and produce will be ruined. You're going to want to keep them lower down. Whereas like milks and dairy, they tend to do pretty good on the top shelf where they're staying extra cold. So a little hack that I saw and have used before is that you can buy like cheap plastic placemats at the dollar store or Walmart or somewhere, and you can put those down on your shelves so that it'll make it easier to just pull out the placemat and wipe it down, weekly, and then you can do a monthly like deep clean. When you're doing our domestic darling routines, we sort through like the house in zones, and we'll spend 15 minutes deep cleaning every month. And so you could just do like a fridge deep clean every now and then if you want to, and just wipe down the placemats weekly. That's the basic steps for cleaning out your fridge. What if I told you I could take your home from a messy disaster to a clean haven you actually enjoy being in, even if you have a tight schedule or 2 kiddos under 4? Well, one of my domestic darlings actually did this. I'm going to tell you how. Between chasing toddlers and daily life, she felt like she could never seem to get the chores done. Then I set her up with some of my true crime audio cleaning routine episodes, and she saw her space transform. She said it was so nice to finally have some direction that actually worked for her brain without having to get overwhelmed with decision fatigue because someone else was guiding her through it. Now I'm giving you free downloads of my MP3 morning and evening cleaning routines, and you can get the link to those freebies in the show notes of this episode. Hey there, domestic darling. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of the Domestic Daydreams podcast. Be sure to check the show notes for any important links or freebies that I may have mentioned, and we'll see you next time.